Hello everyone, this is Alan again, and basically what we're going to do today is I'm going to outline all of the rules that apply to the freebie industry. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, I've put together a little PowerPoint presentation to help walk me through it. Hope you like it. Alright, so why are these rules important? Well, they're important for a couple of reasons. Reason number one, it keeps the industry honest. Basically, as you know, the industry there's a lot of preconceptions out there that it's fake, that there's scams, that it's fraud. I'm not going to speak for that. I'll say that a lot of it can be, but they have been able to very successful at boxing, putting a little bubble, a little oasis, if you will, of actual freebies, of actual people that have come together to make this work. They're also important to protect all the parties involved. Now, I'll outline that later, who the parties are, but as you would know, the freebie trader, which would be me, and the referral, who may want to become a freebie trader, you, and some other parties that are also involved. Not between what me and you do, but the IFW site would also be another party. To make money. If people think this is fake, then you're not gonna be able to make money, because you're gonna be constantly trying to prove to them why this is real and why you can do this, and nobody wants to waste their time doing that. And people end up making more money if people just trust it. And to create order and chaos, this is my personal favorite. Basically, the rules are also designed to help guide people very quickly on what they can and can't do, which also allows them to focus on what they need to focus on in order to make more money the right way. Alright, so the first set of rules we're going to get to are the simplest. These are: what do you need? What are you required to do in order to even start doing freebies? First thing, which should be mostly obvious, is you must be 18 years or older. If you're not 18, I'd wait. I recommend you telling maybe an older brother or sibling maybe to get started. But if you're not 18, you may as well stop listening, or at least wait until you do turn 18. Because if you're not 18, and they will be able to find out eventually, you'll be banned until you turn 18. You must be a resident of the United States or Canada. Now, 95% of these freebies, and all the freebies I do, are based in the US. I make no exceptions, because I'm not going to say I don't know anyone in Canada. I know a couple people from Canada. But when it comes to business deals, I mainly work with people in the United States. I'm in the South, so I don't go up north that often all the time. So just to keep it simple, if you're in Canada, I will work with people just in Canada, unless you live in the United States and work with people in the United States, and vice versa. You cannot use a proxy address. So what is a proxy address? I meant to put proxy IP address. It is an IP address that shifts every certain amount of time. So every certain amount of minutes or seconds, it shifts to another IP address. So you could be in Russia, Germany, France, Britain, anywhere but where you are really. Usually this is where the fraud comes from. And to keep it simple, they just said no proxy addresses. It's also very hard to read the cookies. So that's why most sites or the industry doesn't deal with it in general. You can do a free proxy test to check and see if your computer is a proxy address. I have a link outlined right under this video. Also, AOL is a proxy address, so you're going to have to use something else. That's why I recommend also that you use Mozilla Firefox or Internet Explorer. Most of you should have at least one of them. You cannot use a public terminal. This is a terminal at work. This is a terminal in a library. This is an iPhone. This is anything college computer lab, anything that is not your computer. The reason why this is important is because if somebody by chance signs up to that IFW site as well, or signs up under anything under the same IP address, then you're going to be banned because they will automatically assume that you have performed fraud, and they are very serious about that. You cannot sign up for a freebie site more than once. This is very important to understand. And like I said before, they use IP addresses to track this, and they use little things. They can tell if you put little same things, but most of all the IP address. You can't sign up for it more than once, and it's only one per household too. So if you do it, then nobody else in your household can do it. You can only complete a offer. You cannot complete an offer more than once. That means no matter what network, who are you dealing with, if you do an offer one time, then you can never do that offer again. The IFW site may not know that you did that offer, but that actual offer does, because of course you know they keep records. And once again, the per household thing mainly comes from them. Forum rules. These are rules that are pretty much geared towards forums. They're slightly different depending on the forum, but they all have the basic same things. You must follow through with what you promise. If you promise $30, you must give $30. They have a way of tracking if you actually do that or not, and they are very serious about that. I don't want to say they have a zero tolerance, but like I said, they're trying to protect everyone, and they have no problems banning people, as I'll show you with some snapshots later on. So believe that. You have to rate the other party once the trade is complete. This is a requirement. What this means is once you're done with that trade, because if both of you all are members of that forum, which I recommend personally that you go through the forums, and the reason why is because you may attract these leads from various sources, but it's better to direct them to the forum because that gives them a sense of peace. It lets them know that you will be held accountable for what you say to a certain extent, and it also helps them, move along a lot faster. You cannot spam your referral link. They hate this. They cannot stand this. You cannot PM your referral link. The only way you can do your referral link is once it is asked for or once a trade is set up. They do not want you just going on the forum, throwing your IP addresses around, and they also can track, if you try to do it with the signature to a certain extent too. So believe me, I wouldn't try them. They've seen a lot, and these people are very experienced in catching folks. You cannot tell them which offers to do. This is extremely frowned upon. It really is. If you tell now. This is kind of tricky because even the forums tell you which offers are good, meaning what offers have the best reputation for crediting, for follow through with what they promise. The forums say that too, but what I'm talking about is you cannot say, I recommend you do this because these are the cheapest instant offers, so you can get me my money. They don't want you doing that. They want the people to make their own choices. Now with that said, you can guide them. You can say, look, these are the these are the offers I did. This is how it worked out for me. I recommend you take a look at all the offers. Focus on the ones you may do. Pay attention if they're instant. If they're not, pay attention if they say what price it is, or if it varies, pay attention to it. I tell you that. Anybody can tell you that. That's fine. But don't be like, oh, do Google SEO and do Yahoo, and then I got another set of freebies for you to do because those aren't as high on this site as they are on the other site, so that way you can maximize your money. No, if people want to figure that out, they'll figure it out themselves, but they're not trying to have you do that for them.